I feel so happy today. I am brushing. Very happy. Do you know why? Because yesterday you wrote very amazing and beautiful reports. I'm so grateful that you are putting effort in your work. And when you work hard, you also fuel me with power. And I'll have hope to move on and assist you where I can. Thanks for trying hard yesterday, for submitting your reports, and most of you really tried. And for those who didn't submit, a few of you, please, you have to change on that. And the rest of you, please don't be influenced. Do not imitate what others are doing, because the day you are going to write your final examination, you are going to be sitting alone. Alone. So know that. Before I go any further, let me greet you. I hope you had a beautiful night and sweet dreams. I am also fine. Before I start our lesson for today, I just want to give you a few of the common errors. Despite having given you the individual feedbacks, I still want to give you just few common errors that most of you made. Be careful with spellings. Be careful with grammar, the arrangement of words in a sentence. Be careful of punctuation. You are starting sentences with small letters. Sometimes you have capital letters in the middle of sentences. Sometimes full stops and commas are wrongly used. And most of all, be careful with the tense. Please try to revise on tenses and choose the correct tense for your writings. And avoid use of monotony. Monotony is when you repeat one word over. For instance, yesterday in the question there was a security guard. Then the security guard shoot. Then the security guard did what? Then the security guard. It becomes boring when you repeat one word over and over. In that case, the security guard was a perpetrator. He's someone who had caused the shooting. You could have used a perpetrator or the shooter, or sometimes replace him with a pronoun he. And also avoid bombastic words. I'm not saying use too simple English, but avoid using bombastic words. Bombastic words are pompous words which may even confuse you in the end. So, for instance, some of you wanted to say flabbergasted, then instead you said fragabasted, and things like that. Just be pure. Do not try to, to cause confusion to yourself. Otherwise, for yesterday's report, we are done and dusted. Just go back to the feedback I sent you, the examples, and work in that line. Good. Moving on to today, we want to talk about writing a speech. This is writing a speech. We are going to look at the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Writing a speech. What is a speech? A speech is an expression of your thoughts and feelings, and you express yourselves in words. You are talking. A speech is an expression of your feelings and thoughts, and you do that by speaking. Okay, what I'm doing now, I am giving a speech. A speech to who? To you. I am talking to you. It can also be defined as a formal address or a discourse delivered to an audience. A formal address, you are addressing a group of people. A formal address delivered to audience in a form of a discourse. What is an audience? An audience is the listeners, the people who are gathered to listen to you. Those are your audience, okay? And what is a discourse? A discourse is a written or spoken communication. Those are two words which I think I have to define to you. So know that the audience are the people listening to you, and a discourse is a written or spoken communication. Now, when you are writing your speech, try to have a short topic. Really, this doesn't mean much. It may not give you a mark, or it may give you a mark depending on the set rules. But a good learner always have a short title for her work, so that when she goes through her books, if she is searching for something, it helps her or him to know that this is not what I want, or this is what I'm looking for. So have a short speech, a short title rather. A speech needs to start with an introduction. In the introduction, you are going to have the greetings, your name, and the purpose. In the purpose, you tell us what you are going to talk about. Introduction of your speech is simply a short paragraph having greetings, your name, and the purpose, what you are going to talk to us about. That is your first short paragraph. We are moving on to the body. In the body, that is where you start going into details. When you go into details, you are directed by the prompts. And at this stage, I advise you to choose a good collection of best words to address your audience. You should know who your audience are. Are they young people? Am I talking to elders? Or am I talking to my fellows? So the body, you should go into details, be directed by the prompts, and choose best words that suits your audience. Okay? After the body, we are coming to the conclusion. The conclusion in a speech does not want you to say a lot of things. You are going to simply say, thank you. You are thanking the audience for listening to you. Now, here, sometimes because of spellings, I advise us just to maybe say thank you. If you know that you have got a problem with spelling, just say thank you. I don't want to hear thank you for listening, thank you for listening, thank you. You know, try to avoid words that you cannot spell. But thank the audience for paying attention to you. Okay? Now, I'll quickly give you a short example on how to write a speech. The question may come. Imagine you are a youth leader in your community. A principal at a certain school in your community is worried about the increase of teenage pregnancy at his school, and he asked you to address the learners on what is teenage pregnancy, B, what causes teenage pregnancy, and C, how to prevent teenage pregnancy. These three guidelines are your prompts. When you are going to answer your question, soon after your introduction, because in the introduction you are only going to greet us, tell us your name and the purpose. Soon after that, start your body. Your body should be made up. If you have three guidelines, write 3 beautiful paragraphs on the body being directed by the prompts or the guidelines given to you in the question. I've told you already, you have to derive just a short topic. You can have speech on teenage pregnancy. Okay? Just a short, simple topic to direct you in the future. Now, you have your introduction. In the introduction, we are told that we have to greet, to give our name and the purpose. For instance, you can say, good morning, learners. I am Juliet, and I am pleased to address you on teenage pregnancy. They have told us your name, you have greeted us, and you have told us the purpose. Or you can say, I greet you all, my name is Juliet. I feel honored to stand before you or in front of you to share with you my knowledge on teenage pregnancy. You know, just look at how it sounds. It sounds so good. You cannot just come and stand in front of people, then you start. Teenage pregnancy is teenage pregnancy. People will get shocked and think that you are nuts. Even at home, when you wake up, you greet people. When you meet new people, you greet them first before you indulge into a conversation. Now we are going into the body. In the body, you are given 3 prompts. Remember your prompts? What is teenage pregnancy? Causes of teenage pregnancies, and how to prevent teenage pregnancy. So we are going to start with the first prompt, which is what is teenage pregnancy? Then, for instance, you can give your own definition. Myself, I know teenage pregnancy as when the young girls become pregnant when they are very young, at most between the age of 13 and 19. In most cases, these young females have not yet reached adulthood, and they suffer a lot after becoming young mothers because they are babies and they are forced to take care of another babies. Okay, that was what is teenage pregnancies. I did not add any other thing. Okay, now I'm moving on to my second prompt. That is my third paragraph now in this speech, because I have the introduction, first paragraph, second paragraph, which is what is caused a teenage pregnancy. Now I'm at my third paragraph, which is the causes of teenage pregnancies. What causes teenage pregnancy? You know also. Give your ideas. Myself, I would say, sometimes teenage pregnancy can be caused by lack of information about sexual health, reproduction, and rights. But you cannot just say it like that. If you say like that, you are listing. You are advised not to list. If you talk about lack of information about sexual health, reproduction, now explain to us what you mean. This means that young girls are not well educated when it comes to sexual health, reproduction. Another cause can be child early forced marriage. You know, in some families or some communities, there may be a challenge whereby a family is going through poverty. Now the parents may decide to sell out their daughter so that she's married early in order to gain some wealth. It can be cows, food, or any other thing so that they survive. That can be also one of the causes of teenage pregnancy. Then love of material things is also one of the causes of teenage pregnancy. You know, they are just kids who love things. When she sees the friend has got a necklace, she also wants. When she sees a friend has got a new cell phone, she just wants. This may cause teenage pregnancy because she can easily be lured into temptations and fall pregnant. Now we have told us the causes, meaning that we have the first introduction, the first paragraph on introduction, the second paragraph on what is teenage pregnancy, the third paragraph on the causes of teenage pregnancy. Now we are going to the final paragraph on how to prevent teenage pregnancy. We can prevent teenage pregnancy when parents talk to their children about teenage pregnancy. There are just some parents who feel like they should remain reserved and forget their responsibility. They don't want to talk to their children and direct them about the future and about the challenges we have to face in this life. The schools must find a way to educate teenagers on the dangers of falling pregnant while they are young. When you know the girls are educated and the boys are educated, the teenage pregnancy is not a good thing, since it can rob you of your education, of your joy, and you'll become a mother or a father at a very early age. You know, the schools should try to educate the learners about that. Some of the learners will listen, obviously, and the number of teenage pregnancy will decrease. The other way of preventing teenage pregnancy can be when parents supervise their children's activities and know their friends. You know, when you are a parent, you should try to really know who your kids hang out with. What activities do they take, especially now with social media? Sometimes the child can just be in her bedroom from 5 to 5, just chatting with people all over the world, and you don't know what they are talking about. These are some of the way to prevent teenage pregnancy when you know what your child indulged into. We must also discourage early dating. In some communities, or let me say families, it's taken as a fashion when a child date at a very early age, especially if she is dating a celebrity or if he is dating somebody who is well known. The parents, sometimes the parents becomes very proud, but this is very dangerous because the poor child doesn't know what she is really doing. Then instead of discouraging them to do that, we applaud them. Now, with these few words, I thank you. When I say thank you, that is my conclusion in the speech. Meaning that my speech has 4 good paragraphs because I've answered the prompts. The first one was the introduction, greetings, name and purpose. The second one was teenage pregnancy. The second one was what are the causes of teenage pregnancy. And the third one was how to prevent teenage pregnancies. And my conclusion was, thank you. That is all on writing a speech. Now we are going to have an activity on our WhatsApp page. You are going to write an activity, then we will see how we can help each other. I thank you so much. I always tell you that we will make it. You will make it. If you just try hard, you will make it. Nobody was born successful. Nobody was born with any knowledge. We all learned through the way. So have a good day. I love you. Bye-bye.